Hello, everybody. So I just wanted to come on here to talk about, I'm going to read and talk about dealing with your enemies when they're going through their karma. God has specific wisdom and instructions that He wants us to follow when it comes to handling our enemies. Let me just make it more bright in here. It's kind of dark. I like the light. One second. Okay, that's better. But so Proverbs 24:17-18. This is speaking about your enemies again. Do not gloat when your enemies fall. When they stumble, do not let your heart rejoice. Or the Lord will see and disapprove and turn His wrath away from them. So gloat is to dwell on another's success or misfortune with pleasure. Rejoice means to feel or show great joy. And wrath means extreme anger. So I have 2 points and one more scripture that I want to read. Real quick, I'm just going to go over, how just this wisdom has helped me deal with my enemies. I have been having to overcome a lot of enemies lately, and a lot of people that have been, just committed to bringing, conflict in my life. I never asked for it. I am literally very to myself, peaceful type of person. But for some reason, that's the main type of person that, a person that is, I guess I'll use the word bothered, will go for. A peaceful person. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, misery loves company, right? So just imagine somebody who's so bothered with everything, and then imagine somebody who's so unbothered with everything. That bothered person is going to be bothered with that unbothered person. It's just what it is, So something that I deal with a lot. But ultimately, I do believe it's for me to grow as a human, my wisdom, and ultimately to just understand that that's just something that, people of God, people that are actually trying to be honest and just have good character. The people that are, pursuing God and pursuing wisdom and pursuing love, they're going to have to deal with a lot of bothered people. Because a bothered person, the reason why they're so bothered is because they're not pursuing none of that. They're most likely living in the opposite type of manner. So so basically, it's saying, the way I was able to take it is, it's very simple. It's just clear-cut instructions that I was able to take. Don't be happy for your enemies when they are going through their hard times, and it's because ultimately they tried to put you in hard times. The same thing that they were trying to inflict on you, it got reversed and inflicted back on them. And that's how great God is, right? That's a bad God. Oh my God, yes, go God. That's how I feel on the inside, because I'm go Lord. You really, these people just don't understand what they're getting themselves into, especially when they come for the unbothered. I'm so unbothered to the point where you have to literally try to come and bother me and frustrate me. But God will always come through, especially if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, especially if you said yes to God and you're following a certain path and you're trying to live your life in a manner that honors God ultimately. A bothered person does not like that. It makes them so mad. Anyway, that's between them and God, right? But, our job is not to, be happy that they're going through their hard times. They're going through difficult times because they tried you. And if you do, there's consequences for us. And that consequence is, well, God will then disapprove of you. So now you're being put in a position where if you're laughing at your enemy, God is not going to approve of that. He's going to disapprove because his energy is already going towards that situation. So we don't have any business putting our energy towards that situation. There's nothing we could do that's possibly better than what God can do. And this is not saying like, oh my God, like, yeah, let God do them the worst. Like, no, this is just like God knows what they need, exactly what they need, how they need it. And you as a human, in all reality, what you think you're giving somebody is probably nothing compared to what they truly need to experience and go through so they can get it through their skulls. Some people are very hard-headed and stubborn, don't want to listen, don't have no respect for authority. And I'm not talking about human authority. I'm talking about godly authority. They don't respect God's authority. They don't respect God. Let alone what makes you think they're going to respect you. It doesn't work like that. You have to respect God first to even respect his people. So he will disapprove and turn his wrath away from them. So you already got God on your side because he's mad. He's extremely angry. That's what wrath means, to the point where now he's going to come in, step in to finish the job that they wanted to, they wanted to fester up some drama or some conflict. So now God is stepping in. You got through it, however you got through the conflict. Now God is stepping in, and now God is going to deal with them. Your hands are wiped clean. You're good. You didn't do anything to try to destroy another person, try to distract or control somebody else. So you are literally good. You just have to move on with the spirit that's like, okay, next. What's next, Lord? Like, what's next? What are we doing next? Until the next person comes in and tries to bother you. And then, that's just how it's going to go. So don't expect it to end. Don't expect stuff to get easier for you. It is going to get easier in a sense that you're going to get stronger. Like, it's not going to be like such an issue for you the same way it was in the beginning. Just like anything in life. Driving a car. Learning how to drive a car. Yeah, I'm sure it was a little nerve-wracking and hard at first, but once you got into the motion of it, now it's like, oh my God, this is like normal. Like, this is nothing. And that's how it is with when you follow God's instructions. At first it might feel like, oh my God, I don't want to follow these instructions. I want to be mad, I want to be angry. But it's like, the more you practice just letting things be, the easier it's gonna be to let it all be. Let them slander you, let them hate, let them talk, let them, whatever they want to do. As long as they're not coming and try to, abuse you or fight you or whatever, because that's a big no-no. Some people will even go that far. And, God will have to step in those situations too. And that's a whole different topic, honestly, but because people will resort to that. When they see that they cannot get to you the way they wanted to, a lot of people, they will resort to physical. Okay, now I gotta get physical, because they don't know what else to do. So that's something else. But even in that situation, God will step in for you. You just have to be wise. That's why it's important to read the Bible. This is just one little part. There's so much in here that we can take and carry on throughout our lives with us. So I have 2 points, which is number 1, just observe and pray. When you are in this situation, observe and pray for the person. Pray that they come to their senses. Don't pray that God takes the pain away, because you can't control what God does. You can't control what they do. But just pray that, I'll pray that God, they can come to you, because that's ultimately the goal. The goal is to bring to acknowledge that God is God, to acknowledge that whoever's trying to bother you or mess with you, for them to acknowledge the fact that they cannot just carry on doing what they want to do and causing strife and conflict in people's lives. There is a God, and you go out of your way to try to cause conflict and strife in my child's life. Guess what? I'm going to go out of my way to cause conflict and strife in your life. We are not doing that as humans. God is doing that. And he is the best candidate for the job. He's the creator. And then the second point is stay away from them. Try your best to stay away from these people. I had to learn that the hard way. When people are going through their karma, when things aren't working out for them and you're in their vicinity, they're going to continue to try to cause conflict in your life, because now they have even more of a reason to come for you, because now God is coming for them. And who can stop God? Nobody. So they have to come for you. It's not like they can come for God. God is they can't touch God. So they're gonna try to touch you. That's what they're gonna do. It's not right. It's very weak when you think about it. It makes a human that's a very weak thing to go out and do, but that's what people will resort to doing. And then the scripture that I had was just to piggyback off of everything so you can avoid these situations in the future, is Proverbs 13 verse 20. Walk with the wise, become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. So the more you walk with the wise, the less you walk with the fools, the less you'll have to deal with the fools. It's very simple. And you know a fool by their character traits, by what they're producing, And it is this, honestly, the physical, okay, it can play a part, but honestly, it's their character, it's their mind. Where is this person's mind at? Do they think in foolish manners, or do they think in wise manners? Do they think like the enemy, or do they think like God? And ultimately, you're going to know this by doing research, studying. Well, what are some good character traits that a person has to even show that, they're not a fool? Well, they're honest. They're honest. They're not a liar. They don't slander people behind people's back. If you have something to say to somebody, say it to their face. Don't go behind people's back, create groups where people are just slandering each other. That is foolish behavior. And, the list goes on and on. But ultimately, walk with the wise, become wise. A companion of fools suffers harm. If you don't have wise people around you, get from around them fools still. It is better to be alone by yourself than to be walking with a bunch of fools. All right? Thank you guys for watching.